All right, class. The next set of notes we're doing today is going to be the quadratic applications. This is where we're going to get more realistic problems that will have to deal with quadratics. For this one, I'm just going to use my handheld calculator. It's going to go a little faster than using the digital one. But if you're at home and you don't have one of these, make sure to use your digital program on your Chromebook, all right? So let's do example 1. It says, for each word problem, answer the questions that follow. The path of the ball that is kicked upwards can be described by the equation h is equal to 35t minus 5t squared, where h is the height of the ball in meters and t is the time in seconds. Well, we've got something with a variable squared, something with a letter, and no extra value. So this is going to be a quadratic. First question says, how high is the ball after 3 seconds? Well, time, the t, is in seconds, so all we have to do is take our equation and plug in 3 for that t. So 35 times 3 minus 5 times 3 squared. And when we plug that in, 35 times 3 minus 5, 3 squared, we get 60. So the ball will be 60 meters high after 3 seconds. Now, question B says, after how many seconds will the ball be 50 meters high? Well, this one, our 50 is the height, right? So it's going to go in for h. So if we had this, h is equal to 35 t minus 5 t squared, we can't plug in for t. We're trying to find t. We need to plug in for h, which would be 50. Now, this almost looks like a quadratic. All we have to do is move this 50 over here to get our a, b, and c and get it equal to 0, right? So subtract 50. Those cancel, and then we get 0 equals, and now let's put it in standard form. Negative 5t squared first, plus, because it's positive, 35t minus, and then 50. And we've got our a, our b, and our c. Remember, your a is always going to be the number in front of your variable squared. Your b is always going to be your regular number with your letter. Your c is going to be the number that doesn't have anything else. Sorry, and this one's going to be negative 50. Well, we've got an a, b, and c. We could try factoring, but since we want an exact answer, and it may not give us an exact answer if we factor, what I want us to do is use our quadratic formula. So, remember, your formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and all of that is over 2a. All we're doing is plugging in our a, b, and c. So, x will be equal to negative of 35 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 35 squared minus 4 times negative 5 times c, which is negative 50. And all of that is over 2 times a, which is negative 5. Now I'm going to start to simplify. So x equals negative times 35 is just negative 35. Plus or minus. And let's simplify inside the square root. So we've got 35 squared, or sorry, parentheses, 35 squared minus 4 times negative 5 times negative 50. And we get 225. So it's going to be the square root of 225 over negative 10. Because 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Now, let's see if that's a perfect square. Square root of 225 comes out to 15. So it just ends up being x is equal to negative 35 plus or minus 15 divided by negative 10. And all that takes is two calculations. Do this with a plus, do this with a minus. So alpha y equals, put in your fraction, negative 35 plus 15 divided by negative 10. And then type it in again. But this time change that plus into a minus. So I ended up getting 2 and 5. When will the ball hit the ground? Well, the ball is going to hit the ground when the y value is 0, right? When the height is 0. So now we can go to y equals. We can type in our quadratic, which is just 35x minus 5x squared. And then to get our 0 line, type in 0 for the next one. Hit graph. And we see it's going to cross about right there. If you want to zoom out to see the whole graph, we can zoom out 3, push enter once. And this one would take more zooming out, but you get the point. Second trace, go to number 5, intersect. We've got to move over to the right. So moving, keep going, boom. If you pass it, that's fine. You just need to get close to it. Where those intersect right there. And it's going to be at 7, 0, which would be 7 seconds. I'm going to stop the video here. We're going to continue with examples on the next video.